What's poppin', my people? Welcome back to another episode of The Radical Latino. It's your gracious host, The Radical Latino. How you guys doing? How y'all been? My God. First of all, I want to dedicate this episode to you guys, all my listeners, all my people out there downloading and listening to my message. Shouts out to you guys. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have gotten, to the point that I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm very new in this whole, podcast thing. And I just started this a month and a half ago, literally. You guys can check the date, And I'd like to thank you guys because we just reached 100 downloads. Yes, I know it's not that big of a deal, 100 downloads, but for a very new podcast, to do those numbers in 1 month, shouts out to y'all. Let's get some round of applause here. Yeah, let's get some round of applause. Thank you very much, guys. Shouts out to y'all, especially coming from a dude from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I don't got that big of a notoriety on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. I'm starting from the ground, literally from the ground, and and I'm working my way up. So shouts out to y'all. 100 downloads in 1 month. I've seen people's podcasts only get like 15 in a month, or in the same time frame, maybe 20. I got 100. So this means, that the message is, going out there, and y'all are, hearing it. You know what I'm saying? It is resonating. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. Thank you very much. I want to give a special shout out to y'all up in California. Thank you. New Jersey. Thank you. Pennsylvania, Minnesota, thank you. North Carolina, good looks. Tennessee, Washington, thank you. And also my hometown in New York, good looking. Thank you so much. But let me not forget my international brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my people in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all doing good out there, people in Canada, Singapore. Really? Singapore? I don't even know anybody from Singapore. That's wild. Shout out to y'all. Thank you very much. France. I don't even know y'all understand me, but shout out to y'all. In France. Norway. Again, thank you very much. Shouts out to y'all. And the Netherlands. Shouts out to you guys. Again, without y'all help, it wouldn't be possible. So this episode, is dedicated to you guys. Thank you very, very much. Now, with that out the way, I've been uploading, things here and there on my YouTube channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead, do it right now. It's on the description of the podcast. The link is right there. If you're on your iPhone, just type it. Just tap the picture, the podcast picture. Go down, you'll see YouTube, and just go there and subscribe. I am going to be uploading little things here and there. Right now, I uploaded already, the breakdown of Drake's album, which I'm going to just talk about real quick. But the breakdown of Drake's album and how he responded to the whole kid thing and all that. And I'm going to be uploading other things, that interest me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a big hip-hop head, so I'm just going to be talking about stuff like that. I'm not going to do no DJ Academics bullshit, reporting every other second about, it's just, things that interest me, you know what I'm saying? Battles that go on, just hip-hop in general, you feel me? And I'm gonna talk about tech stuff, And mainly, I'm gonna just focus on Apple. You know what I'm saying? And then just gradually move on to other, because I'm a computer dude. You know what I'm saying? I like getting myself informed and being up to date with the new computer trends and tech trends. You know what I mean? So yeah, go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys, I'm always gonna be uploading my podcast. There was also things that I'm not gonna be, podcast ready. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, go there, see if y'all, if y'all can subscribe and and just, follow your boy. You know what I'm saying? So, talking about the whole Scorpion album that Drake put out, it's alright. It's good. It's good. I'm not that big of a Drake fan. I really never, to be honest, I never really felt none of his albums like that. His first album, the whole thing was just like soft songs and singing. I wasn't really feeling it. To me, the shit was trash. The only good songs that he got up in there were the ones on the radio. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of trash. I'm not really into all that soft R&B shit. Don't get me wrong. Like I listen to some R&B, you know what I'm saying? But his first album, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it. And the trend continued from there, I'm talking about the first album, the Thank Me Later, not his mixtape that actually got him to where he's at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like his first album, I wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. And the same thing happened. All his other albums, I just like the radio hits, and he would have some, some tidbits here and there, some like little lines. Like, all right, cool. People go crazy online with him for like maybe 2 weeks. He has some quotables. All right, that's what's up. But to me, it wasn't all that great. But Scorpion, he released a two-sided album. Side A, side B. He even said it. One side is gonna be straight hip hop. Another one that's gonna be, soulful R&B. What I really liked was that Michael Jackson joint on side B. For those who don't know, on side B he got a song called "Don't Matter to Me." Got Michael Jackson on it. The shit is dope. Kind of makes me a little sad, hearing Michael Jackson. Like, damn, homie, you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you miss Mike, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up, I didn't grow up, I'm too young for that, but, I remember watching him on TV and all that when he was still alive, and, just watching his music. Come on, man, like, why would you hate him? Mike, come on. So, that was kind of dope. He had his little, his little joints or whatever. That was pretty cool. But the side A, I feel like side A, that shit was just, I think that shit was reworked, to be honest. Remember on the W freestyle, he told Push, he was like, don't put me there when I'm on album mode. And we already knew he was, coming up with an album. Side A and side B, bro, come on. You ain't gonna, this is like 25 songs. You're not gonna just rework, you know what I'm saying? I feel like certain songs were just all reworked, because he's saying irrelevant things on the album that happened to him. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole the whole baby thing. You know what I'm saying? He has a little drops here and there. Also with the whole his dad, wearing suits, on Survival, that's another one. I break that down. Like I said, go to my YouTube channel, but still, he has like little things here and there. But the most mob ties in the bottom, that shit is dope. Talks about Jay Prince. But the most telling, I'll say, is 8 out of 10 and mob ties. Those are the most telling. I heard Joe Buttons break this down, and I agree with him. I heard Joe Buttons break this down in his podcast. He said that, and if you cut the bars up, you could agree with him, because Drake paints a story that he went to the camp, Kanye's camp or whatever, and he let him hear the album beforehand. You know what I'm saying? And Ye, told him about the whole 7-track shit. You know what I'm saying? But he let him hear it beforehand, and they were talking or whatever, and that's how Push heard about the whole baby shit. But either way, yeah. So heard the album first or whatever, and that's how the whole thing started. With Push came out with Infrared, and then Drake or whatever the case is. But he explains it like there was an interaction beforehand, and you know what? I kind of do believe that. I do believe that there was an interaction beforehand. I do believe that he, Ye saw opportunity, and he said, you know what, fuck it. Let me just put this, let me put this crazy shit out there. 7 tracks or whatever the case is. Stupid, but whatever. But he was feeding Push some information, because let's be honest, Ye and Drake don't really get along. They're competing. You know what I'm saying? This stage of hip hop is always going to be competition. But that's what I believe. And 8 out of 10 and mob ties confirm it. They do confirm it. I'm not gonna shit on it. It's true. They confirm it, and the shit is telling if we just break it down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, good album. Not saying that I hate it. This is not saying that I hate it. This is one of the few albums that I actually could listen through the whole thing. Most of his albums, like I said before, they're kind of tracky. You know what I mean? They're trash. I'm not all into the whole album just being soft and just, maybe 3 songs are hard. Nah. If you want to put an R&B album, put an R&B album out. Don't put saying this is a hip hop album and all of them shits are soft and you singing about females. Stop. No, fuck out of here with that. I'm not with it. So yeah, I like the album. If I'm gonna have to rate it, I rate it a 4 out of 5. That's what I rate it. It's not a sleeper. It's pretty good. It's really decent. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to it, front and back a couple of times. So I give it a 4 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? I give it a 4 out of 5. Also, the Carter's album. I'll do a video individually on that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got other things on the works. I got a whole update video on the whole Junior case situation up in the Bronx that happened. I got a whole update video on that. So just, like I said, just go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, stay in tune, because I'm gonna be breaking that whole thing down. Just getting everybody up to speed of what's going on, because it's kind of sounding a little funny. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sounding a little funny. But now, let's get straight into it. For those who don't follow me on Twitter, again, just follow me on Twitter. It's radical_Latino_. My YouTube is the Radical Latino. That's it, you know. For those who don't follow me on Twitter, I had this back and forth with this white supremacist on Twitter. Something came across my, you know, when I was just searching up shit. Something came across it. This guy, I'm not even gonna say this guy's name. Y'all just go to my Twitter, go to my, you know, replies or whatever. You could probably see it, you know, while hearing this shit. Somebody posted a picture of, you know, little Mexican kids or whatever, you know, the whole immigration thing. And in the bottom, it says Mexico reduces legal age of sexual consent to 12. Now, let's try to wrap our heads around that. Mexico, they have all these problems, but Mexico is going to lower the legal consent of sexual consent, the legal sexual consent to 12? Really? Really? Mexico is really gonna, really? With all this shit happening to their country, the first thing that they're gonna do, or the least that they're gonna do, is lower the sexual consent. Alright. So, if you look deeper, and you actually Google it, for some reason, the only sources that are covering this are some weird, off, like real, you know, right-winged, weird news articles that have no credibility whatsoever, and they're the only ones covering it. I see only like 4 or 5, you know, covering this news, and some of the shit doesn't even make sense if you read it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the shit doesn't even make sense. And for some reason, whenever you go to these news articles, they got some white supremacist bullshit on the side. You know how some news articles, when you guys go or to, like, you know, CNN, you know, Huffington Post, you know, New York, you know what I'm saying? They got like other news article on the side. They was having some white supremacist news articles on the side or whatever. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? These are the only people covering this shit? It must be bullshit. It has to be bullshit. So I did some more research, and again, the only people covering this shit, like one of the news articles, their website is yournewswire.com. Are you really fucking with me? Yournewswire.com. Alright. Really? Get the fuck out of here. These are the same news organizations that be like, yeah, you know, you could, if you fuck a dog, you could actually get a dog pregnant. And by the way, here's the proof pictures of a dog giving birth to human hybrid dog babies. You know what I'm saying? These are the same. The fuck out of here. But white supremacists online will take these articles, even though they know it's fake, and promote them as truth. That's what they will do. They'll get something all like completely left, completely like that doesn't make any type of sense, and promote it. Look at Donald Trump. He retweeted, remember a while back, he retweeted that whole white supremacist image that black crime is actually way higher and all this other stuff, and black crime, which I debunked in one of my other episodes. There's no such thing as black on black crime. But these are the examples that they will use. You know what I'm saying? These are the examples. They would say, get something that makes no fucking sense and hold it up as truth. You know what I'm saying? They will hold. So when people start getting outraged or start questioning, then they'll go to a next tactic where they'll either troll you away or they'll be like, nah, it was a joke. It was a joke. Come on. It's a joke. You know what I'm saying? That's another white supremacist tactic. Don't fall for it. But when I saw this, and I saw the caption on top saying, being rapey and a pedo is just a culture, I automatically was like, alright, I'm dealing with a white supremacist right now. I'm dealing with a white supremacist. Because what he's saying is the same thing that Trump is saying. Bring all these killers, these rapists, these gang members that are not going to contribute to society into this country. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. So he's labeling all Latinos like that. Because that's exactly what white supremacists see Latinos as. Rapists, gang members, and murderers and all that. You know? Because according to white supremacists, all Latinos are in that one gang, the MS-13. If you're Latino, that means you're an immigrant MS-13 gang member. You know what I mean? According to the white supremacists, that's what we are. You feel me? So when they say that this is our culture, being rapey and a pedo, you automatically go like, alright, if you really want to go into rape culture, if you really want to go into pedophilia culture, let's really go into it. All the pedophile crimes, all the pedo crimes, all the people being arrested for pedophilia are white. Look at the Catholic Church. They damn near get arrested every day. Most of our tax dollars are going to them. If y'all don't believe me, there's this documentary, probably out on YouTube. It's called Open Secret. It's called An Open Secret. And this documentary, it exposes the pedophilia down in Hollywood. So what they would do, so what this documentary basically exposes this whole thing, known people to the point where the executives of Hollywood knew that this thing was gonna come out in Sundance and scrapped it. It scrapped it for some reason. This thing still got out there, you know, it got leaked out. But it's called An Open Secret. You know, you guys could probably see it on YouTube, Open Secret, pedophilia, whatever. But this is what's happening out in white society. This is what's happening in Hollywood. I'm not saying that white people are all pedophiles. I'm not saying that, but the majority of them are. This is documented cases. But they have the privilege to pass. They have the privilege to not, you know, get caught or have less time. You feel me? But that's what, you know, that's what it is. And there's, you know, this whole documentary goes through person after person after person after person after person. But nobody says that this is their culture. Nobody says that, you know, this is what these people do and they should not be allowed over here. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever we hear the word immigrant, the first thing we think about is a Latin person, which is not true. The first thing that we talk about when we talk about crime is a black person, because apparently they're believed to be the only ones doing all this crime, which is not true. Completely not true. So when I see stuff like that, talking about the rape and the pedo, it's just the culture, you automatically, you know, dealing with a white supremacist. Because, you know, rape, back in the day, it wasn't considered rape when a white man raped a black woman. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't considered rape. We're talking about back in the day. And if you really look at it, most of the mulatto kids, mulatto children, were done in plantations. Why? Because the slave masters would rape the women. So this is documented. We know who was doing all the raping. It wasn't us. It wasn't black people. It's documented. It's documented. It's not my conjecture. I'm not just pulling shit out my ass. This is documented. And they even justified by doing it. You know why? Because they even said it. their protruding buttocks show that their lust of sexual exploitation. So they pretty much, justified it, saying, oh, because they look like that and they're wild thick, that means they're really, they're horny, they're up for shit. So this person puts out, I've seen this person thing, and automatically I'm gonna rep my antennas are up. You know what I'm saying? And I gave him a question. I asked him a question. I was like, for some reason, the only news sources saying this are sketchy. I thought this is real. Also, are you saying Latino culture is being rapey? A legitimate question. I wanted to hear his, white supremacist point of view. Because I like to talk to these fuckers time and time again, just to actually, just so I could see where the fuck they're coming from. And it's insane. Some of their ideologies are like literally out there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people were, some of his white supremacist followers, were coming at me, but I really cared about this person. You know what I'm saying? And, they were like, this is true. And I was like, listen, I'm thinking this is fake because all I'm seeing is from white supremacist news right organizations or whatever. I'm thinking this is fake. And then, obviously they're gonna come at you with the whole liberal cuck thing, which is another code word, saying that they're white supremacists. And he's like, you think, he said, you can think what you want, CNN boy. Boy, that's funny. Either way, America isn't your land and never will be. Winky face. So that right there to me was very funny, because these white supremacists really want to defend the land that they stole. They really want to defend the land that they stole. And you got to keep on reminding these white supremacists, especially, people in the dominant society. This is not your land. It never was. You stole it. Just because you're stealing it, you're not the owner of it. You know what I'm saying? Just keep on, hammering that down, which I did. And I said, this land isn't yours either way, Mr. White Supremacist. That's all. Mr. White Supremacist. So I ended that by saying, hey, listen, I know who you are. I know who you are, And then I just got barraged with a bunch of, other bullshit. Here and there. And my man hit me back with the, I'm black and I say so narrative. And I'm like, wait a minute. This kind of sounds a little bit too like he's been studying someone else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not replying whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Until somebody, replies again, saying like, listen, boom, black people commit crimes and all this other stuff, blah blah blah, this and this and this. And the and first of all, he was like, black people commit crime and you're defending black people. So they're already trying to separate me from, hey, you're Latino, don't fight for black people. I'm already hip to that game. Latinos, we gotta be hip to that game. Whenever we talk about white supremacy and we talk about injustices, especially done to black people, they're gonna try to separate us, and they're gonna say, wait, whoa, why are you talking about black issues? You're not black. Damn near knowing that we got black blood in us. Damn near knowing that we're not white. Like I said time and time again, the most palest Latino or Latina could be looked as white. They won't be treated as white. Once they see that last name, they're not gonna be treated as white, because they got a black ass grandma or grandpa somewhere that they know exists. And hey, if you take a genealogy test, damn near the majority of Latinos from Latin America, Central America, and the Caribbean, damn near all of us are gonna have some variation of Spaniard. Probably the most is 60%. Probably the most. 60%. And guess what the other 40% is gonna be? Not white. It's not gonna be white. The other 40% is gonna damn near be sub-Saharan African, of some form of African, and native. Guarantee it is gonna be native. Because genetically and phenotypically, all Latinos, not the ones that came from Spain to these other, countries. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about people who were born there, whose parents were there. Just because they're light skinned doesn't mean shit. All Latinos are genetically and phenotypically African and native. That's it. Up and down. So be very aware of what your history is. Be very aware. So that's what they like to do. White supremacists are gonna like to, separate you. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that, hey, you're in the same black empowerment team also. So you gotta be hip to that game, So that's what he said. He posted a picture of a black dude, these are the people you defending, blah blah blah, they kill more people and all this other stuff. And then I posted a picture of a bunch of, white supremacist terrorists like Dylan Roof, the Batman killer, Sandy Hook, the nigga that shot in Vegas and all them other stuff, I posted a picture of them, little meme with the caption, "We have a problem in this country," and in the bottom, "and they don't cross the border." And I sent them this thing, and I'm like, and these are the people you defending? Real funny, And this got in they ass. And I started being called black supremacists, left and right. Black supremacists. Remember, whenever a white supremacist wants you in their side, they'll start calling you everything else but what you are. But once you start stepping out and going like, yo, it's kind of bullshit what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? If I'm studying history right now, I'm getting woke. I'm studying history. I don't know. Everything that you're saying is kind of bullshit. You're not really all that right. Then they'll be like, oh, you are a Latin, wetback black supremacist. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they're gonna be doing. That's when you already know you're on their ass, and they start calling you what you really are. You feel me? Start calling me black supremacist, this and this and this, and all this other stuff. And he's like, and I told him, I was like, hey, what's a black supremacist? What is it? Y'all keep on calling me a black supremacist. What is that? Because there's no definition for it. It's another tactic. There's no definition for that. He goes, a black identity terrorist. That's what a black supremacist is. Like a black identity terrorist? What the fuck? So I was like, okay. I'm like, so can you show me a law that black supremacists benefit from and is detrimental to white society? A very valid question. If you're calling me a black supremacist and you're calling people like Tariq Nasheed a black supremacist, people like Phil from the Vice Media Show a black supremacist, all these prominent black people who are doing things, black supremacists, then okay, if we are black supremacists and you are labeling us as such, then show me a law that protects us, benefit us, but is in the detriment to white society. Very valid question. Very valid question. Because we all know the answer to that. There's no such thing. Because there was definitely laws, and there still is laws, that benefit white society, and it's a detriment not only to blacks but to everybody non-white. You feel me? But here he goes. This is where he starts trolling. He's like, yeah, the law being that they aren't dead. Look at that. I said, can you give me a law that it benefits us? And he couldn't. So he was like, fuck. Alright, let me just go to trolling. Yeah, the law being that they aren't dead. To me, that said a lot. To me, that says a lot, because these are the same people who sit in jury pools and would acquit a white supremacist cop race soldier for murder by because they killed an unarmed black person, and they will acquit them. These are the same people. These are the same people. Back in I don't know if you guys remember watching the Planet of the Apes, the new one, the one that probably a couple of years ago. In the movie, also in the poster, there's a big controversy. You know, for those who don't remember or don't know, there's I forgot D-Ray, I think his name is, from Black Lives Matter. He has a vest on, a blue vest. He's an iconic blue vest, and it was a lot of controversy because in the poster of Planet of the Apes, one of the apes had a blue vest on. The only one. Everyone was like, listen, this is racist, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, if you watch the movie, I watched the movie several times with open eyes. Watch the movie. In one of the soldier helmets, he has monkey killer or donkey killer, because in the movie, whenever they caught one of those monkeys, they will write donkey in the back. You know what I'm saying? So they will have to interchangeable, you know, monkey killer or donkey killer. That's very telling. A lot of white supremacists will say, even Mark Furman in the OJ trial, there was tapes of him saying the only good nigger is a dead nigger. This is out of his own words. So this is very telling for what he said. Yeah, the law being that they aren't dead. That is very telling, people. That is very telling. So I say, you know what? Let me have some fun with this. Because he's obviously trolling. And I'm a very witty individual. I come up with little things off the top of my head just to get under people's skin. But I'm a very, very witty individual. And I basically was like, alright. So I said, there you go. Showing your white supremacist views. This is the real reason why you practice white supremacy. Damn, dude. How does it feel knowing your whole race will be extinct by the year 2050 and we aren't the ones killing y'all? Nature is. Shouts out to you and y'all meth/opium use. And I gave him a little screenshot of this news article that a lot of news articles are picking up, saying white deaths are exceeding births. White deaths are exceeding births in 27 states. That's very, very telling. That's extremely telling. 27 states. Last time, just a couple of years ago, actually, they said like 15 states. Now it's 27. They're saying that white people are going to be extinct. That's what they're saying. That's what I knew. He didn't even write back to this bullshit. He didn't write back to that. What the fuck are you gonna write back? He's talking about you want people who aren't white dead, but you guys are the ones dying. So this is what I'm going to. The topic of this show is race baiter. What is a race baiter? What is a race baiter? Because after this, I started getting a bunch of DMs. You race baiting nigger spick. You race baiter, piece of shit. And I kept on getting race baiter. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? Race baiter? What the fuck is... So I replied multiple times. Yo, what is a race baiter? Can anybody tell me what a race baiter is? Nobody answered me. What is a race baiter? What the fuck is that? Nobody answered me. And I already know what a race baiter is. Someone who calls out white supremacy. That's what it is. Someone who calls out white supremacy constantly. That's who they call a race baiter. Because you're not supposed to call out injustice. If I'm not calling out injustice every day, if we aren't out here calling out injustice every day, pointing the finger at white supremacy and the system of white supremacy that we live in, they won't call us a race baiter. What they'll probably do is give us jobs. They'll probably put us in political positions. To what? To monitor our own people and have no type of change. We gotta start waking up, my people. We gotta really start waking up. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really start waking up. But that's what basically a race baiter is. That's basically the definition of it. A person who calls out white supremacy, because nobody really has a definition for a race baiter. They don't even have a troll definition for a race baiter. Because race baiter is basically calling out white supremacy. That's what it is. If you really go down to the crux of it, that's what it is. That's calling white supremacy daily, because that's what you need to do. If a situation happens and it's a little funky, you be called a race baiter when you call it out. For example, the whole Cosby thing. My man got drugged through the mud because of that bullshit. My man got drugged through the mud. But when I was calling it out, I was calling all types of names. Race baiter, you know what I'm saying? Race baiter. So that's what it is. Race baiter means calling out white supremacy. And don't let that deter y'all. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that turn y'all off on that term, because they don't really, that's the only thing that they got. Race baiter. That's it. It just means that you're doing something right. That's all it means. It means I'm doing something right. So let them call me whatever they want. At the end of the day, I'm doing something right. Because if they're being so butthurt and pissed off about this, race baiter, you're doing something right. Just keep it up. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's a fucking late night. I'm recording right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit me up and follow me on all platforms. Remember, follow me on YouTube, guys. I'm gonna be uploading regularly up there. Little things here and there was happening throughout the week and stuff. Just follow me so you guys can get up to date or whatever the case is. This is episode 10, I think it is. Is it episode 10? Hold on, let me see. It is episode 10, yep. So this is episode 10. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at radical_Latino_. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? Once again, episode 10, 100 downloads already. Thank you to all you guys. If it wasn't for you guys and the message that you guys are feeling, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you again. Let's try to get this thing up to 1,000, probably 1,000,000. All right. Thank you and have a good day. Peace.